Hello everyone. Thought thought I would give you a surprise and welcome back to my another video. I hope all of you are doing well. I'll be say I'll be it will be a while since I'll be streaming back, or I might be back today, tomorrow. And I thought of why not let's make a video of something fast, and it is about chess, like basic chess. And in this today's video I'll be talking about some chess pieces, like all the chess pieces, and some famous chess words and its meaning. And let's get into it without any delay. uh, as always, please comment and subscribe to the channel, and yes, please let me know if I need to improve something. Okay, so let's get into it. So there will be 8 pawns for both of the players, 8 pawns, the pieces are same for the both players, so it can be said that there will be 8 pawns for both of them. Okay, so so okay, so how they move? So pawn actually moves to square, can move to square. Okay, so if in any circumstances, if you let's say if you want to control d4 square, then you can also go to c3. It's not that it cannot move uh, one step at a time. It can move. Okay, you can move according to your need, according to your strategy, whatever is your plan. Okay, and, and let's say the opponent also can do the same. Okay, the pawns in any position, any situation of the time, if it has not moved from the second rank, or for the black it's the seventh rank, if it has not moved from this any of the square, it can move two. Okay, but if they have moved, let's say, from second square, then it's only one. It cannot go for the two square. It is only one square. Okay, so after that, the pawns are also the only pieces that cannot move backward. Okay, so as you can see, the pawn has moved until c4. Okay, so if I want my pawn to come back, it's impossible. It's against the rule of chess. Okay, so you need to be careful that mm, you know moving more pawns means you are gonna open up your sides, and it might make your king vulnerable, and you need to be more secure. You and uh, you need to be more secure, and you need to be more careful that it might not, it might keep you in disadvantage. Okay, so the another feature, or let's say the advantage of having the pawn, is that the pawn can be promoted to any of the pieces except the king. Okay, it can be promoted to the queen, it can be promoted to the bishop, it can be promoted to the knight, and it can be again promoted to the rook. Not the same pawn, but any of these 8 pawns. So let's say, okay, let's say he takes, and then I move again. He moves, I move. Okay, it is not as easy as it is shown, but I'm just showing you. Okay, look, these are the 4 pieces you can transform or promote your pawns to. Okay, so let's say you want to promote the bishop, you can. You want to promote to the knight, you can. You can also promote to the queen. Okay, so that means this whole 8 pawns can be promoted to the queen if it reaches to the end of the opponent's opponent's row. Okay, same for the white piece. It needs to go to the 8th row to successfully promote itself. And um, and I think that's it. And that's it for the pawns. And yes, also, if you take one pawn, then you are gonna be at 1 point advantage. So let's say that the white takes black pawn on e5. Okay, e5, this pawn is is equals to 1 point. So if I take that pawn, I am up 1 point. So if you have heard, like in any situation, that this opponent is up 14 points. Okay, you can see that this is the 14 points. Okay, each of the pieces has its own point. Okay, one is for the pawn, and there are much more. There are each points for each of the materials, which I'll be telling on each turn. So for now, I think that is end for the pawn. Okay, so now the another piece that we are going to talk about is the bishop. Okay, so the bishop is the piece that consists of 3 points. Okay, as I have already told you, like what is the point? The point is equals to the value of any piece. So if you capture the bishop, if you capture the opponent's bishop, then you are gonna be 3 points of the material. Okay, it is the point of the material, you can say that. Okay, so as you can see, the bishop, there are two bishop in each game for both of the players. Okay, there is two bishops for the black and two bishops for the white. And one speciality, or you can also say disadvantage of the bishop, is that it stays on the same color. Okay, as you can see, there is one bishop on the black square and one bishop on the white square. Okay, and this black square can be different according to the website, but the white stays the white. Okay, so as you can see, if I move, okay, first we need to open up the bishop. Okay, so that is also one of the major disadvantages compared to the knight. And okay, let's say the opponent also opens. Okay, so the one speciality or disadvantage of the bishop can be considered that it stays on the same colored square for the whole game. Okay, so one bishop stays on the black square for the whole game, and another bishop stays on the white square for the whole game. That is in the every game. Okay, as as it is not like the other pieces such as queen, it moves to the black and white. King also moves to the black and white, and every other major pieces moves to the black and white. Okay, and that can be used in your favor also, and in against you as well. Okay, so I think you might have heard that, you might have heard somewhere that the white bishop is powerful. Okay, okay, and the black bishop is powerful. Okay, that means that this bishop is in such a good position that it is powerful, and it has most of the power to control the whole game. Okay, so if it dies, then the flow of the game might be changed. And okay, one example I can give you is, okay, what I'm gonna do is from the pawn, bring it out. Okay, I'm gonna pin it, open it. Okay, as you can see that this bishop is pinning the queen. Okay, so the pin means the queen cannot move. Okay, but the knight can move. Okay, and the queen can die. Queen has a good value. And if it moves, then the queen dies, and it can convert to the good position. Okay, so basically in the starting of the game, the bishop, this white bishop, black's white bishop, can be considered powerful because it has quite a good power to change the flow of the game, and changing the momentum, it can also be said. Okay, so that's it for bishop. So let's move to the another piece, the knight. So our next pieces is the knight. Okay, so the knight is also the piece that has the value of 3 points, same as the bishop. Yeah, 3 points and 3 points. Bishop and knight are equal, though their working mechanism or the rules are different from each other's. Okay, so this knight is the only piece that can jump across the another piece. Okay, let's say this knight. Okay, like for the bishop in the previous term where we were talking about the bishop, I needed to push the pawn so that the bishop can go outside. Okay, so that the bishop can go outside. Okay, so for the knight, okay, so let's say for the knight, I don't need to move anything. It can jump across any pieces, and the knight is only the piece that can jump across any pieces. And there is a funny, let's say there is a funny clip about how the knights walk. Okay, as you can see, the knight walks according to the L. L, the alphabet L. A B C D E F G H I J K L. Okay, A B C D E F G H I J K L. Okay, so as you can see, this is L as well as this is L. Yes, as well as this is L. This is also L. L can be like straight or opposite or in any direction. If there is a L, the knight can jump in that square. Okay, so as you can see, the knight 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, 7 and as well as 8 square. Okay, so as you can also ask me the question that if the knight can control the 8 square, why does it has the value point as the bishop? Okay, so if the bishop is centered, okay, it can basically control 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. Okay, I think it might be more, but I think I might be missing something. So see, the knight can control only the 8 square, but the bishop can control the 13 squares. So there is a good debate between which is good, bishop or the knight. You know, so it will take a while for me to come to one conclusion, and I might not be even right. Okay, so basically the knight is a good square if the area is closed, and the bishop is good if the area is open. Okay, so I think that might is up the debate. Okay, so there is also one survey. Okay, there is one survey that has found that player who finds the fork, okay, the fork means attacking two pieces at the same time. As you can see that, let's say there is one pawn, and let's say there is another pawn, and let's say there is any other pieces except the knight. Okay, let's say there is one rook and there is other rook, and if and the knight is attacking the both square or both materials at the same time, that can be called fork. Okay, so this is a fork, and the knight is very famous for the fork. And if there is the king and the queen instead of these pawns, then that is called a royal fork. And the chess players are chess players doesn't get much more satisfaction than finding the fork. You can ask anyone, if you find even any chess player on the street, they are gonna say that the fork is kind of good. Like they might even say being the grandmaster, beating the Magnus Carlsen, him beating Hikaru in the bullet, many more. But the average player will basically mention the fork as well. So that's it for the night. I think I might have missed something. I'll be getting that knowledge from the comment section. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, so I think I might get some good or bad comments as well. Okay, so the queen. The queen is one of the most powerful piece on the chessboard for any of the player. Okay, if um, if it is black or if it is white, the queen is considered powerful piece. So unlike knight, it also needs some space to move out. Okay, now only the queen can move. Okay, so the queen has basically the value of 9 points. 9 points, so which is considerable, which is considered a good value. 9 points is, there is no any other piece that has the 9 points as the queen. And the queen's speciality is that the queen can move in any direction. Mm. The queen can move in any direction. Okay, it can move diagonally, it can move vertically, horizontally, anyway. So look, if the queen is centered, it controls every square. Okay, every square, but not one. I think people can guess that's L direction for the knight. Okay, the knight is the only piece that can move in L direction. Okay, and the queen is also the only piece that cannot move in L direction. Not the only piece, it is one of the power piece, powerful piece, yet it cannot move in L direction. So the knight is considered the bitter enemy for the queen, and so that's why some people add or extra debate that it is the only piece that cannot move as the queen, and so there is more points to the debate, and that's what makes the queen powerful as well. Yes, there are many ways for the bishop as well, like if the black bishop pins, as yes, I have already told you what is a pin as well. Pins means the piece that is in front that cannot move. Okay, so let me say that. Let's show you that I have moved the queen. Yes. Okay. So in this situation, the queen is pinned. Okay, it cannot move to any other direction. I know. Yes, it can take the bishop, but for now, let's consider that the bishop is protected. Okay. 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 So let's not consider. Let's make it. Okay. Now the bishop is connected, protected. Okay, and in this situation, you can see that the queen cannot move because it is cannot give a direct check to the king. Okay, give a direct check to the king, which will be the end of the game. So the rule book says that you cannot move, but in this situation you need to, sorry, you in this situation you, yes, but okay, I think that was the right move. Okay, and let's say you can take it. Okay, yes, he's gonna lose a major piece like with the worth of 9 points in exchange for the three, but this I'm just showing you what a pin is. Okay, this pin means the queen cannot move at all, and uh, in place of the queen, let's say, okay, look, even if you try to move, there is that it cannot be moved at all. Like there can be any other piece in this situation as well. The knight, the rook, sometimes, but not the pawns. Okay, but that can be anything which is considered a pin. Okay, so I think that's it for the queen as well. I think, guys, it's really the time. You know what time it is? It is the rook time. Yes, the rook. Okay, the rook are the piece that stays at the corner of the board. Okay, get the rooks. Even the black rooks are at the corner. Okay, so the rooks are the material. The pieces that are worth 5 points, and together they make 10 points. Okay, two rooks means there are 10 points, and it is the only piece that exceeds the queen. Okay, when both of them are added. Okay, so if only one of them are added, then that means that only 5. But as you can see that bishops are 3, so 3 plus 3 is 6, which is not greater than the queen. So knights also same, so that means that the rooks are the only piece. If added up, or if used correctly, then they are worth of 10 points, and the queen will only be 9. Let's say the opponent has only the queen, you have two rooks. So if you can use it properly, then you have 10 points, 10 points of material, and the opponent has only 9 points of material. So how the rook moves? So the rook moves only to up, side, or let's say vertically or horizontally. It does not move like L. It does not move vertical diagonally. Okay, so it only moves to the vertically or horizontally. So both of the rooks, you know both of the rooks are the same thing. Okay, it's not gonna be different. So it is also considered best defense uh, if um, if the rook can see each other. Okay, so let's see. Let's go. Okay, I'm developing the piece. Okay, it's black down. Let's go. Yes, I'm moving the same piece. This time I'm gonna show you that what I'm trying to do. Let's go out. Castle. Okay, so this means that the rook can see each other. Okay, so if the rooks can see each other, then that can be considered a better defensive position. Okay, the rooks are used for defense at the first and in the starting of middle game, and in the end game the rooks are considered attacking as well. So okay, castle, that means the rooks can see each other, and that also means that this is a good defense for the both black and white. Okay, so as you know, there are many pieces on a chessboard: the bishop, the knight, the rook, the queen, and the king. As the great man has said, power resides where the men believe it resides. So if you believe the bishop can be more useful, you are gonna use bishop more more greatly. And if you believe the knights are the one in power, like it can depend upon the situation. You need to create that situation, you need to make that situation. This is a vast world. If you're just starting to learn, go on, the experience is gonna come handy sometimes. Okay, so it's not that you are gonna start today, and even if you are watching the video as a beginner, go on, it will be a good one. Okay, so I think there are some other words that I'll be explaining in the next clip. Okay, so finally it's the turn of the king. Okay, so the king are the one of the most, let's say it is on the top of the important pieces list. Okay, so yes, it is the sole piece. If it is lost, then the game is over. If you lost the bishop, the game still continues. If you lost the pawn, the game continues. If you even lose the queen, the game is gonna go on. Okay, so and you might think that, oh my god, okay, the king is the most important. If it is lost, then the people, yeah, and the game is gonna be over. Then it might be powerful, it might be even, it might have even um, more moves, more value than the queen. Okay, so no, that's not it. I'm gonna give you some good bad news. That's not it. The king is just gonna move one step at a time, up, down, side, another side, another diagonal, another side, another side. In any direction you can go, but only one step at a time. One step at a time. And the king, the also piece that is gonna be more active at the end game. End game means the game where, okay, you can see that this is the end game. Most of the pieces are lost, and the king has to support the pawns in order to win the game. Right? So, and that's what the king is all about. And the king, yes, moves sometimes two moves to three moves, and that is during castling, as I've already shown you, like in the previous clip where the rooks are gonna see each other. The king jumping directly, the king was here, and here it just jumped to the side, bringing the rook to the other side, making rooks see each other. So that is actually the two moves that king moves, okay, in the whole game. And the castling is done only the one time. And the castling also can be done to the queen side or the king side. And so there is also one different situation, like the king can create. Okay, so in this, okay, I'm going to also tell you about what is stalemate. Okay, stalemate is the position, like in the same way. Stalemate is the position where the king is not checked, okay, as well as the king does not have any more squares to go. Stalemate also happens when there is no more pieces, but only the two king remains, uh, such as this position. Okay, take and take. Look, this is the square for the king, and this is the square, and this is the square for the black king. So they cannot fight at all because they cannot touch each other. Then that can be considered a stalemate. Okay, so the stalemate also can be considered that. Okay, so let's say that the king is on the side. Okay, and let's say that the rook is here, as well as the rook is here. Okay, so in this situation you can see that the rook blocks this square, it also blocks this square. Okay, so there is no any move for the king. Is there? No. So the king cannot move. Can king move? No. So this situation is considered stalemate. It can be created with many other pieces. Okay. So let's say that instead of that king jumped, uh, accidentally. I don't know how it moved. Okay. So let's say this is also the same. Yeah. There are many situations you will learn, while you have an experience during the games. Okay. So and I don't think I've missed much. Yeah, there is one another. I think I have missed something like impatient, and okay, I'm also gonna show you in the same clip. Okay, let me refresh it. So let's say, okay, I move, and then he moves. I move. Okay, so let's say if any pawn that moves two square, okay, two square right beside the opponent's pawn, then the opponent's pawn can have a chance to go for diagonal attack, attacking this pawn, and the pawn can cut diagonal. Okay, so that can be called impatient. You can also see here impatient is a special move, a special pawn move by which a pawn captures another pawn that has advanced two square. So to capture the impatient, the pawn needs to go two square. Okay, one square is not considered it, two square, and you have one chance. Okay, one move. So in the next move, let's say if you say that I move it, and then he moves here, you will not have chance to go for c6. Okay, that's what the end passing is. So I think I have explained the, all of it. I have explained the pin. I have explained the fork. I have explained the stalemate and passing. I think I've missed much more, which I think I'll be which I think I will be covering in any other video if possible. Then I think that is it for today, or this video. So I think it is a little bit good to be back, and I hope uh, you know I'll be posting some more videos. I wish I'll be able to come back live. I'll try to, but let's not have high hopes. The video, I think it will be soon. So at last, please like and subscribe the channel, and please share the video, and bye bye. See you again.